Suzuki Vitara is a quite special SUV. Unlike most of its rivals, Vitara is well known for its ruggedness and off-road capabilities relatively, of course. With every single iteration it was becoming bigger, more expensive and, frankly, thirstier in its fuel consumption. Recently Japanese manufacturer introduced new generation of Vitara. It lost ground from its name and actually doesn't have anything in common with its predecessor, maybe apart from a couple of style cues in the front. Actually it's far more closer to SX4, with which Vitara shares a bit shortened platform. That's why the newcomer's body is 125mm shorter than SX4's wheelbase got a 100mm cut, while the ground clearance is bigger and 185mm. The latter figure gives the clue about the main differences between new Vitara and SX4 and the core principles and, may we say, car's philosophy. The novice is more oriented towards off-road and style. Customers can choose from different body color combinations. Roof, pillars, mirrors and event side moldings can be painted in a contrast color. High-spec versions have LED low beam with blue elements in headlights, which under certain angle remind of Range Rover Evoque. Side sills also add a point to that. Not the worst role model, we must say. From the behind, one can clearly see roots of SX4. Overall, the car looks rather sharp and balanced.
The cabin welcomes with modern and elegant design. Stylish clock, opportunity to get front fascia in the matching color to the exterior, and great 7-inch screen of infotainment system by Boss. Picture looks crisp and bright, even better than in some premium cars. However, we can complain about touch sensitivity of the panel. Sometimes it's hard to perform an action with the first touch. Multimedia system contains navigation and supports mirror link technology, shows the picture from your smartphone connected via USB. Image from reversing camera is shown here as well. Interior trim of Vitara is hardly luxury. Yes, plastic in some places is not of the best quality, but it doesn't feel or smell cheap. In addition, layout of controls is convenient and easy to use. As for equipment, even the base trim has 7 airbags, ESP, climate control and heated front seats. Surprisingly light doors raised some concerns, but engineers assured us it's the result of weight loss therapy and doesn't affect the level of safety. Body and doors are strengthened with beams and high-strength steel. We really liked seat upholstery. Of course, it will be available on high-spec versions only, but anyway the company deserves some points for that. Seats also made a good impression, with nice shape and decent lateral support. Rear bench isn't bad too. You can seat 3 adults there without great compromise. Despite being relatively compact, back seats offer enough space, although don't expect too much comfort. High door steps force almost to climb into the cabin, and to be careful not to mark your pants. The boot, being a bit smaller than one in SX4, is still very functional. It has several levels with underfloor storage and a spare wheel.
Behind the wheel, Vitara feels similar to its predecessor. You can't tell you're in a compact SUV. The dashboard is simple, but informative. Cruise control with buttons on the steering wheel is available as an option. However, it's not as simple, but an adaptive cruise control. Although Vitara should be perceived as inexpensive city crossover, it can accelerate and brake by itself to control the distance from the car in front. Nonetheless, the car can't completely stop on its own. The system will switch off at speeds below 40 km/h. Steering is sensitive and direct, although too light sometimes. That's good for the city, but not for the highway. New Vitara is offered with petrol and diesel engines of the same capacity and power and 1.6 liters and 120 horsepower. On our test in Portugal, we tried the petrol variant first. Engine is pretty responsive, despite of 6-speed automatic transmission is revving it even in the normal mode. In sport mode, the gearbox keeps it closer to the red line. Of course, in this case unpleasant engine sound creates acoustic discomfort. If you're not in a hurry and rev counter shows below 4000 rpms, sound insulation works fine and doing 120 doesn't require to raise the voice to have a conversation.
Claimed fuel consumption for Vitara is up to 6 litres in combined cycle. We managed to get 6.5, not bad considering hills and curvy roads. It may have been even better, but we turned start-stop system off immediately. It holds the takeoff for fractions of a second. That's not much, but enough to irritate locals, who use it to fly through small and narrow streets. Hill start assist and descent control system make travelling in highlands easy and comfortable, especially given the price of the car.
Suspension manages to cope with all the bumps and provides relatively smooth ride even on the rough surface. When the road obstacles are getting serious, Vitara shows the lack of suspension travel, lifting some of wheels in the air. Decent approach and departure angles and all-wheel drive system may spare off-road trips, but let's not forget it's just a crossover, which most of the time we'll spend on the paved roads. Therefore, Vitara doesn't need long suspension travel, and test organizers didn't plan to take us further from the specially designed sandbox. All grip system works really well. Wheel spin reaction is quick even in auto mode. When switched to sport mode, the system allows some rotation and opening the throttle earlier, exiting the corner comparing to front-wheel drive version. Lock mode fixes the torque split between front and rear wheels almost like a diff lock, and snow makes the car permanently all-wheel drive to manage muddy and snowy conditions. Japanese manufacturer has some serious plans for sales of new Vitara in Europe, moving from the image of being very successful only in India